Nestled in the heart of the beautiful Italian Dolomites is the town of Cortina d'Ampezzo. In 1956, a Winter Olympic venue. And 70 years later, in February 2026, the Games return. So this is where it all began. Literally, this is where it started, the 1956 Winter Olympic Games. This is the start area. Right behind us, the first corner. And the most spectacular scenery is all around us. Here in the Dolomites, it's astonishing. But this is the first artificial track that was built here in Cortina, essentially just iced on concrete. They built a second track, and that was in use until the early 2000s, and now the third track is here and ready to go for the 2026 Winter Games. What a legacy this place has for the sliding sports. I mean, this is as basic as tracks get, really, for an artificial track. Just square concrete walls and just a tiny little infill here to round out the corner. And then you build up the ice and there you go. But this one didn't have refrigeration. So if it was a warm day, the ice would melt away. Yeah, these Cortina tracks, they had a reputation. They were rough, tough and dangerous to race on sometimes. It's a really great example of how they built the track to follow the landscape. So we're on the hillside, so they've cut away a bit of the hill, and we're actually, the top of the wall here is at ground level. So it's sunk into the hillside, and that's part of what helps keep it cold in the winter. That and the fact that you always try to build on the northern side of a hillside so it doesn't get the direct sunlight. But it's a very different way of building tracks. It's just great. I just love this stuff. Think of all the people who raced on this track when it was in the Games and before and after, and all of that history is just sitting here on a sunny afternoon in the middle of the winter. Beautiful. Well, this is the last bit of the 56 track. We're just above the start area. And what do we know from this corner? Well, it's near vertical. Straight up, no lip. So you get this wrong, and you're going off in a big way. The height of this corner tells you this was fast. So 56 track, 2026 track. So fast forward 70 years, and we're not just in the same town or even on the same mountain, we're almost literally walking in the footsteps of our predecessors. And that's such a great thing about this track, is that for the first time since 1980, an Olympic track is built new in a venue that already has massive sliding history. And that's the key here at Cortina. It's about the passion, it's about the people in this town keeping the dream alive of bringing sliding back for a quarter of a century. And this is where the Games will happen in February 2026. So from then to now, 70 years of progress, but the challenge is still the same. It's still finding the speed on the track, finding the speed on the ice. See here, we're curve 8. Now, I talked about not having track numbers, but having corner names. And this is the second part of a famous combination, Belvedere Bandion. Bandion is named after a little lake that's at the foot of the trees just outside the track. Belvedere, the beautiful view you get of Cortina from the top of the track. So Belvedere Bandion and Antelao and Cristallo, named after two mountains that overlook us here, and you see each of those as you get to the corner. So those names that everybody remembers from the previous track, they're being used again. And this is the real big combination. Antelao, huge, big left hand, straight onto Cristallo, this big, long right-hander. And that really is the spirit of the old track. Some really fast transitions, and Antelao and Cristallo were the signature corners on the track. It's just fantastic, isn't it? Everywhere you look, we're right in the heart of the mountains. So there you go. Curva Cristallo, Cristallo. That's it. So this is what it's all about. The finish line in sight. Well, for the track is ready. La pista è libera. We are ready to go racing in Cortina. And in February, whoever does the best job getting to this line is going to be the Olympic champion. And that is going to be something special.